and if I'll tell you who it is, we sat for an hour and a half. This is an attorney, and we sat there for an hour and a half, went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He said, okay, Bob, I'll support you. But at the end of the day, I want you to get the board to think past lunch, you know. And here I am advocating I need to get out of here because I've got to eat, you know, so I don't want that.
Think past lunch.
I'm sure you forgot about that conversation.
No.
Okay, all right, we're back up. Now the motion to come out of executive session.
You got it.
Motion, Mr. Cross, second, Mr. Morrow.
Yep.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, we got
No action, right?
no action. Now, let record show no action was taken. Okay, but you got
No, I don't have anything.
nothing?
You said you had
I
two.
thought you had something.
I said nothing.
Okay. All right, I got two things. One, back some time ago, the approval of the board already approved to right-of-way acquisition on Gunner Road, and but I'd like to execute to moving on forward to do it. We approved to do it, but we never have done it.
This kind of goes back to what I made the comment right before we went into executive session. I don't know what qualifies as a project road. I've been down Gunner Road, been down Andrew Chapel. Actually, the first time about 6 months ago, I drove down Church Road when I had an opportunity because I just happened to be in the neighborhood. So I don't know. And I respect the prior board to some degree in designating that as a project, but I just need to know. I mean, I just need to know what. I grant we already have right of way acquired, but I don't care if I spent $200,000. I'm not going to try to save 200 to spend 5.
No, let me add to it. We already got money invested in it. We've got the design, and we've already spent having it resurveyed for the right-of-ways because to start acquiring it because it's changed hands. So much of the property's changed hands. So right now we have all that property. I mean, we know who owns it. So if we don't do it, we go ahead now. Otherwise, we wasted that money because as it changes hands later, then you got to do it again. And this was over the years. And another thing, once that's acquired, then if money is available, just like before. That's one of the key things is having. So we already have the design already on it. So we've already invested that. So we actually got skin in that game.
Oh,
like
yeah, I knew we had money in it.
We had approved doing it. I just wanted to.
How much more money are we talking about trying to throw out there to keep us from losing what we already got out?
I'd have to have Mr. Parker's rough estimate.
What do you think we got in the budget so far?
We got near $500,000 in it.
Being in it.
And I think we're talking about $300,000
more.
I think that's what estimated, and I think they're doing it by Craig. And Craig may could even help me here on square footage and whatever down through there.
Yeah,
because it's already staked out now. The stakes are already there. Going to redo that down the road.
The right-of-way instruments, the right-of-way instruments have already been prepared. So you've got the plats, the legals, the surveys that are all in process.
How about Garner Road?
Okay. Yes. So generally speaking, what you would do is have a right-of-way acquisition agent brought on to do an analysis, what we would call a brochure appraisal. Bob, you're familiar with that, where they would look at pretty much a set per square foot cost for all right-of-way within the boundaries that are the defined right-of-way for the entire road. So instead of having to go to each individual parcel and try to do a fair market value analysis, we use what's called a generalized appraisal figure. So, for instance, they come up with 15 cents a square foot is what all of the right-of-way. That's what your offer would be based off. Obviously, the aggregate amount of the right-of-way would be different for different folks. They have different size parcels that you're acquiring the right-of-way off of. But generally speaking, you would use a per square foot cost. That really holds down your per parcel acquisition cost if you can do it that way. So that's the way we like to do it, and it's been successful for us in other projects. And that's the way Gunner started life. We got about 10 or so parcels where we actually acquired the right of way before the board shut the project down because of the funding issues.
Right, so what I was telling you, Steve, when that happened.
Well, it's something that happened on Gunner, you know, it fell down, and quite a bit of time passed.
Right.
And then the decision was, let's move ahead with right of way. Well, when we started checking the records, there were a bunch of parcels that had changed hands. Probably, I don't know, a third of them. So we had to redo the plats and description.
So now we're up there. We got that, so we're not re-spend that. And it's just like the road you're talking about, Steve. It's got 0 shoulders. It's had numerous accidents. There's some fatalities. It's got a nursing home in it that actually backs out of their parking into the road. And if you've ever been down, you know, got hills and all. So I mean, it falls in that same thing of dangerous and safety, it's unsafe and all that, as many do. I'm not putting it ahead of anything. I'm just saying. But this, we have this money already in it. I think it'd be, even if it was Andrew Chapel, I think it'd be good sense that we go ahead now that we've invested there, and we got this right of way. I don't know what the wording you used, but everybody that the ownership now is to go ahead and move and just have it acquired and have it sitting there. Once we acquire it, we got it.
My concern with that approach is that we're still on the track that it is a project, you know, excess millions of dollars, and I won't have to put Buster on the spot to reassess since that was done 6, 8 years ago. We're taking a different approach on Andrew Chapel now and looking at taking the worst part and letting Derek and Buster figure out what can we do to correct the worst part and then see how it works on down from there. Have we ever assessed what can be done or are there multiple worst parts? Is a worst part of Gunner Road that can be addressed without having to do a quote unquote project on it?
That's going to be hard because it's pretty much similar all the way. But
And I guess
all I'm asking now, I'm not even
day,
asking for that. All I'm asking for is
well,
just
I'm not prepared to even say we need to spend another $300,000 on a project if we're all not on the same page. Yeah, this is a project. This just gets back to me. Says y'all keep saying it's a project because the prior board put it on a list of priorities. That's all fine and dandy, but we're a different board now, and I want Buster and I want Derek to get together and say, okay, here's what we look at. We say it's a major road. I mean, a major project. Because no offense, but you've got Ehrlich Road and Williams Road in the last 8 years, and how much money was that spent?
What?
Ehrlich Road and Williams Road. That in your district?
Williams?
Huh?
Williams Road?
Yeah, on the north side, on the other side of the thing, you brought from
You're talking
Williams.
about Ehrlich Extension.
Extension. Brought that down.
That was part of the bond.
Yeah, that's a huge project. It was a needed project.
And so was Main Road, Old Fannin. That was part of that funding there.
Yeah, I mean,
so was some of the roads. I mean, it was scattered. What I'm saying, whether you remember it or not, it was scattered all over the county.
My District 3 it wasn't.
Huh?
Well, you got fire stations.
I can't help your supervisors out there.
Well, I can't. Well, here I'm going to rectify that problem then. I am not going to vote for spending another $300,000 unless I know for sure that project is warranted for Gunner Road. I just can't do it.
Well, it is definitely warranted. I'd love to, but I mean, if you want to wait till they say it's warranted, that's fine. But I'd like to put it out there as a motion to move on forward because we got a lot of money tied up in that, and lease acquired right, because the longer you wait, then you're going to lose the same thing you lost track of on a third of this property again. It's only smart business there, and you're not talking about much money in the big picture at all now. And what I'm saying, you already got $500,000 tied up in it. That's tied up in it. Then you got then we've already spent having it redone as far as getting this property aligned. And if you're throwing that out, if you continue and start losing some of the property, we can go and get the right of way, and once we got it, it's there. It doesn't matter if it's sold. So, I really felt confident that I had something done for that project that would have helped Rankin County, until somebody turned the little newspaper girl onto us. I really, honestly, you weren't in that meeting, but I was, but I really felt very confident that that was great for Rankin County and everything till somebody turned her loose. And so, but anyway, that's here and there. That's history. But that, anyway, I would like.
I appreciate what you're saying. Before I go out and tell folks in District 3, well, we're going to spend $300,000 looking at Gunner Road and acquiring right-of-way, they go, look at me like I've lost my mind. I got to be able to tell them, I've been down it, I've talked with engineers, it's got this, this, and this, and this, and that's what
Well, don't we have that now? Don't we have some of that information right now?
Well, we've got the construction plan.
Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, we have, I don't know what, I'm a little confused on what you're asking.
No one
but we
is, I
do
mean,
have
you
some
show
of
me
that.
a layout, that's great, but no one has sat down with me or sat down with this board and said, this is what qualifies as a project road. Here are the big issues that we see, and this is what's going to solve it,
Well, these are the issues, these are the issues that I think that actually we've taken to, that when we presented this as a project, is that it has zero shoulders, it has a record of fatalities, it has a record of numerous accidents, it's a real hilly road, and it was a road basically taken by prescription back in the day, similar to, your road, Steve. Andrew Chapel. And so what you got is what it is. Well, it's been overlaid several times over forever, and then so naturally it's deep. You have zero shoulders. You have the same thing. If you mess up there, you're going to have a wreck. And so it falls under the same type of project. And I think the information that you're asking, and we really already have that information.
Ask a question. This is for the board and Buster too. Is it safe to say that a project is any time that the road department is not capable of performing the duties, and we have to go out and hire a private contractor? I almost look at it as if if it's a project above 50,000, we get Buster involved, just like the reservoir fire department. Is that safe to say that it's a project?
Well, it's truly a project that our road department obviously couldn't handle. I mean, yeah, that's true there. But I mean, we have a lot of those, there's no question. But no, it is to answer your question, Ed, it's a project that you could not handle. Now, the stuff that Mr. Parker's and have other information, I feel that you're asking about, which has already been done. So, I'd love to. I've been kind of forgetting to bring this on up. I wanted to bring it up to go ahead and move because I'm scared. I don't want to lose ground where we are now. And then if it sits there, so be it. I mean, and it will, but at least we have this right of way that is acquired. That's something that, in Steve's situation, is an issue because the right of way is not any right of way. That's something we got to work toward if we need some.
So you're thinking the 300,000 is the cost, you're updating the work as well as the cost of acquiring the right of way, is that kind of where that number's coming from?
Well, did we not come with that? Did I not? I may be wrong. Was it an estimate of around 300,000 for the right of way? Where did we come? What?
I don't know.
Somewhere I got that number.
I generally don't get involved with the cost of the right of way.
Where did I get that number? Because we mentioned that one time before. Greg, do you remember anything? Okay. I'm not sure where that came from. I thought we had mentioned it once before.
Well, I guess the next question would be that we need to figure out if I really have no problem with the foundation where we headed, but I just wanted to find out what that 300,000, is that a good number? Is that
Well, and I don't
higher?
know where I got that. I may be wrong with that, but I think somewhere I got that number. I don't know where.
But yeah, I've been down Gunner Road and I've been on 3, so I mean,
Well, I understand Andrew Chapel. I mean, we would need to buy the right of way and do all the same things. I also understand that I've been here for 4.5 months, and Jared's been here 10 years or so. and his project, I'll support him, and, because his project was going before I ever came here, or wanting to go. I hope that in 4 years or whatever, if I want to come back, that y'all support things that I've been fighting for 4 years. I would say let's move, and if nothing else, determine how much money it's going to be to continue to, or finish out this right of way. Let's just see what it is. I mean, if we don't know, we don't know. But
It can be calculated, because I mean,
yeah, I mean they can calculate it. But
Greg can, I mean, his philosophy of how you do that, easy to come up with a rough number. That's, I'm taking some
That's all you
assumptions.
do.
as long as we're, even if it's just small steps, as long as we're moving forward. I'm like Jared. I don't want to go backwards and spend money twice, or just make it more difficult than if we would have done it when it was most feasible or economical.
Right.
So I would say let's take a small step and see how much right away we got to buy and what it'll cost.
Where does that money come from as far as the budget is concerned?
Oh, it's just the sky.
Yeah.
It's true.
Comes out of the road department.
Road department?
We have a right-of-way line.
Hey Derek, I'm saying all that, but I want you to get into mine now.
Yeah, project talk, I just learned project talk scares me.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
unrelated budget.
If I could add a couple of just quick points that I think would help round out sort of where I think I hear we are. The calculation itself could be easy to do the right-of-way analysis. The hard part about that, though, is what is that per square foot figure? And that's going to require somebody with some appraisal knowledge to give us that.
You can, if all that property down through there, with the exception of the nursing home, if my memory serves me, all of it's will be classified as residential. You could put a value on, let's say, a 1 to 3 acre tract, be it 15,000 an acre, convert that to your per square foot for us, and you just blanket across whatever the total you're trying to get, and then whatever special calculation you want to make for the nursing home. Although I don't think they've got anything to give.
Really don't, because their road, their drive, I think their drive is part of.
I think it's already there, so I don't think they're not even impacted. You know, and you may have something as you get closer to 49.
But now, actually, Bob, you get on down to 49, that's not included because that's part of, I say, when you get real close to it, quite a portion of that is going to fall under the MDOT with the widening of 49. So we actually start past the hill when you come up.
So you probably got all residential tracks.
It's pretty much all residential.
Yeah. I think so.
That's actually a lot higher figure than we've been seeing.
15 is big. 1 to 3 acres, you can figure about the per acre price is going to be around. Why is that red light on? And I just done how many appraisals? Disregard what I just said. It's going to be higher. I mean, higher. You know, when you try to go get it.
Okay.
Unless you can convince them to get it.
Yeah, that's a good bit higher than we've been seeing out of our brochure appraisals on rural.
In the past.
Small. I'm talking 1 to 3. As you get larger now, that number does come down.
No, we're talking about
but
very
1 to 3
small
acre tract.
here.
I don't know what the average tract is down through that road, so I
I
don't
don't
know.
either.
I don't recall.
There's 93 total parcels on Gunner Road, 93 parcels. Now, some of those may have been subdivided since we first analyzed it, but that's the number we've been working from on this project from day one. So you've got that. What I would suggest is we could visit with, on an informal basis, with some right-of-way acquisition folks and get them to put some skin in the game by providing us with maybe with an informal analysis of a per square footage cost. See if they're willing to work with us on that without charging us, or not charging us a whole lot to get to that answer, with the possibility that we can get some later work for them. And just kind of give you guys an idea there. I'd just be afraid, Bob, to come in and say, we think it's going to tape out at about this many.
Well, I'm happy to look at their assumptions, but this is what I've done in the past for various groups. You can say 1 to 3 acre tracts is this price, 5 to 8 or 5 to 10 is at this acre, and then 10 to 15 is work it like that. And if anybody wants to litigate, then we go to and just specifically look at that particular parcel and appraise it, do everything that needs to want to do to satisfy the requirements.
That's what we did that's kind of the way we did, I think, Monterey. There was some obviously some tweaking on different things, but
We've been real fortunate. We've had very
it's
few.
going to be, I think it'd be real similar to like Monterey.
Yeah.
Very similar to Monterey, because Monterey was nothing but,
Pasture.
no, every bit of houses.
Yeah, it's all residential.
Every
Oh,
bit
no,
of
how that
residential.
part?
Yeah, the part
Yeah,
coming off 49, that was all residential.
I think about the word Butler, well, through Butler's.
No. Yeah, you're right, that would be pasture, no.
I really don't have an issue addressing those things. It's when you'll be cost conscious and coming up with these numbers, obviously. Get some rough ideas, look at parameters. I can live with it. Again, that's just me, Mr. Gaines obviously has an opinion of himself.
So what do you want them to do so we can move this one on?
Oh, it's like Steve said, we know what that cost is. If we think it's a $300,000, and it's a great timing since we're getting ready to come up in the budget year to find out how much we're going to impact, Derek's budget for this particular project. Is it going to be 300 or is it 100? Get 100, man, I'm a lot happier. Get 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, it won't be 100.
So.
It won't be 100. So that's a nice wish. Okay, well, I guess that's, then will you, agree then to let's get an estimate of what it's gonna cost?
Yes.
I can do that.
All right, because, like I say, I think it's all business people, poor business to lose ground. And we've already lost ground once. And we're in a place now, so I think it'd be very poor business to lose ground.
Yeah, and for the same side of that, I mean, we're doing the same thing on Andrew Chapel, right? Getting price estimates, or not?
We're not buying it
Right.
right away.
We're not buying
I'm not talking about
right
right away.
That's,
but-
that's more of a fix
No.
/ overlay. Here we're talking
Right.
about it. And I still ask the
Yes.
question to Buster to go back and not spending too much time to see if there are particular areas that something the road department could do, in the interim
Right.
period. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there since we essentially talked about Andrew Chapel being a project, and now we've kind of scaled back and said, well, we can do some help in this particular stretch,
Yeah, it'd be a Band-Aid type project. I'll be happy. to do it.
Okay, so we're gonna get an estimate and then come back. All right, could I direct you to?
The only issue for me is, if y'all are okay, that estimate needs to be having somebody in right-of-way acquisition look at these square footage requirements that in order to provide an analysis of the cost per square foot. We gotta have that calculation in order to give you a number.
Mhm.
So we need somebody that we're gonna actually use for the appraisal work to help us with that.
Right. I would think somebody give you an estimated idea that same person, if chose, would be, if we choose to do it, we'll go ahead and move forward. That way he's familiar with it. And he's already set his basis on what he thinks it's valued at.
And here's why we're even having this conversation. Woody Sample this is how long it's been since we've had a road project, since we, where we're acquiring right away. Woody did the last acquisition work that we did. He's been retired and gone to Oxford now for over 3 years. We don't have a dedicated right-of-way acquisition company that we work with consistently.
Right.
So what I'm asking you to let me do is to go out and see who could possibly be our Woody.
What about McKay? He has done some work.
No.
Not at this
He has
level,
not?
Steve.
I'm just, okay.
That's
All right,
fine.
forget it.
He's done small projects, Steve. I think this.
Now, of course, it's Woody's successor, Jason Hicks, I believe, and I think it's Woody's son that are in a partnership together.
But according to what I understand, they are not doing county-level right-of-way acquisition work.
I thought they were involved in the East Metro where they're connected in that last better stretch of East Metro between Brandon and the road.
I'm not aware of it if they are.
You might touch base with Baker or the mayor and see, because I know that since the city's involved in that funding aspect or
All
part of
right,
that
then-
project.
So then we're leaning to letting him look at
I'd
something.
like to offer my services to help him pick an appraiser or give him 2 or 3 names, because there's some folks who want to stay out of their price range that would be too expensive.
What we have done for some of our smaller work is we have required, and when I say I'm avoiding the whole project discussion, we've actually had acquisition people help us with things that don't qualify as projects. Very tiny little issues, 3 and 4 parcel type stuff. And so we've kind of had a little bit of a review of those guys, and I'm personally, at this stage, I haven't gotten really satisfied with any one in particular. I've weeded one out, one is still sort of in the game. I've got a couple other guys, and of course, if Jason is doing the work, we need to.
I think that there is a successor. Whoever bought that company
Well,
bought
let's
it. I mean, I don't
move
know.
this on, let's let him check that, that'd be okay?
I'll bring you to
All
a
right,
brief.
the only other thing that I want to bring up, we never have decided on these pagers.
What?
The pagers, as far as whether we want
Minotaurs.
to, yeah. I mean, where are we on that? Is that something we need to,
I don't know.
we need to be looking at that pretty quick?
I agree. I mean, that's a critical function of this
Mhm.
whole thing.
But we've not approved that, it's gone through.
So-
We've talked about it, he brought it up today.
Yeah, and
I forget the dollar, I forgot what it actually is now, I don't have it in front of me.
But 350 for the 5
Yes.
towers and
182 and 148, whatever that comes up to.
320.
But that was with
That's for
upgrading the towers.
That's the going adding a site down in Cato to pick up the bucket area in case it falls
But now,
short.
is that the one that we were gonna wait and see if?
I was
they-
fine. I had to go with the 4 towers and see, and that the
Right.
I think I'm good with the 4-tower issue right now, and if we got a problem.
I just want a provision if they come back, if Bucket comes back and says we can't get it, y'all are agreeable to put that 5th location up.
I'm for that.
No, we
Yeah,
weren't. I
absolutely.
think that, it's just like, if we did it, we had to wind up coming and putting another, a booster or something on the water tank. They got approval, to put on a water tank down at Southwest Rankin. So, same kind of thing. We did what we had to do to get the coverage.
I'm with Jared on that. The voice pagers are critical for these volunteers.
Mhm.
They are. And I mean, it's,
So I guess I'm asking y'all, how do you want to handle that? Do you want to move on? We're going to keep putting it off?
So if we keep putting it off, we keep operating the whatever system we've got now, we just keep our fingers crossed that at some point, either we get closer to the new budget year, that by then we've identified money that we can go ahead and execute in October 1
If
or
we think we
something.
can put it off to then.
I don't know, that's what, I guess I just want to make sure I understand the
yeah,
decision here.
and that's my only line of thinking, is if we bought the Band-Aid fix for the analog to buy us a couple, 3-4 months.
Right.
We're right here, almost at June now. I think we can put it off until we get to this budget cycle.
I mean, I'm fine. I just wanted y'all to know that it had not
I'm
brought
with
to
you.
my attention.
Yeah.
We went there, but then we didn't go any further. So-
If it was a dire emergency, I'd say act now, but if we can
The
hang
only-
off a couple more, and it's important.
The only thing, I guess the question I'd have, and some of them may have to answer that, is how long would it take to put the new ones in effect if we were to have a problem, or we wait to decide then still?
Well, and again,
we're talking
remember,
about 4 months, are we talking about another 4?
Well, we still got 2 systems right now. They still got the radio system,
Right.
which is not the only
That didn't
fix.
work,
But
yeah.
so they've still got 2 systems in place that can buy us the time to.
But I'm
get
just
through the
saying
budget.
though, if we approve it in budget year.
I don't think it
and
takes
said,
long.
how long does it take to get it up and going?
I mean, and
I mean, I don't know.
I'm totally guessing, but I think in 30 to 60 days it's up and running. I mean, I don't think it's a long process
Okay.
at all.
Yeah, that would be my only,
It's a quick
So-
process with the digital, the voice Minotaur pagers. But they have 2 systems of getting notified right now. Even though I agree with the analog is a but it's still there. And we bought the Band-Aid for
yeah.
couple
We're just
months.
holding our breath there, but that's fine. I just came to my attention that we had not, we left it out there. So
It's
that way, at least the
100%
decision's
priority, I
been made, we're gonna put off, at least try to hold off the budget time.
If we can.
So I can answer.
If we
That
can.
way I can answer anybody that asks.
And you're only buying 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Any other business? Not, I have a motion to recess
Motion recess into the work session.
until June 2nd.
Second.
June 2nd.
The recess until June 2nd.
All right.
Work session is different.
Motion
meeting
recess
altogether.
by,
Board meeting is where we have to major on the emergency side. We're good on recess until.
All right, recess, motion recess by Mr. Morrow, second, Mr. Cross. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay.